Okay, good afternoon. Hope everybody's having a good summer. You guys have had some good quality lifts in, some conditioning, and you've had a chance to watch some of the tapes that I've sent you, starting back with base defense and as we progressed into the zone fires and the zone blitzes. And really take some time over the next couple weeks before we report to camp and watch those tapes and rehash some of the things that we've been talking about. So we come in, we can hit the ground running. And those basically are our install meetings for the preseason. Things will be a little bit different. But really today I want to focus to you guys something new that we put in as a defensive staff, what we termed as the Bandit defense. And what that is, it's a bare front or reduced double eagle front, but it's a bare front. This gives us some options out of our base defensive package, which we term a 4-2-5 or 4-3, that we don't have to change personnel. It's going to give us a different look, hopefully cause some confusion with the fronts from the offensive front in their blocking schemes. It gives us a 7-8 man front that we think we can attack defense or offenses with, while playing a man coverage where we feel we have some strengths in our secondary, while playing some man coverage and even a zero coverage out of this. So this Bandit defense is going to be based out of a one high shell, cover one, and we can play man off of it. But we're going to focus on the simplicity of this defense with us up front and where we fit into it. So again, knowing that we will be in our base 4-2-5 and we can move to this front. One of the beautiful things for you guys that are in the past, when we played a shade front, we could move, bandit. Okay, so this is the signal for bandit, move, bandit if we want to do it. We line up in our 4-3. Same principles within our defense. We're making tight frontage calls to the tight end. We'll show you this out of our most basic formation that we see on a week-to-week basis out of 11 personnel with that H-back or tight end off the line. And talk to you about the base alignments and the responsibilities within this defense. So we've determined that this is a right call. Here's our tight end right here. Get up to the line. We don't move this front. We'll call right, right, right. So we have a defensive end aligned no more than 2 feet outside this wing back or this tight end, this H-back. Okay, then we'll go to our defensive tackle. Still 3 technique. Nothing affects you. Now, when we reduce the front away from the call side, usually we were in a 1 technique here in our base stack defense. Now when we're in bandit, this defensive tackle is going to move to a head up 0 right on that nose. And our defensive end, who primarily was in a loose 5 in our stacked front, now he moves to become a 3 technique. Now more of a phone booth player. So defensive ends, when we line up and we get heavy checks, it's like just like playing a 6-eye for us. And now what we're going to do, our adjusted linebacker, who usually lines out apex and number 2 in space, he now comes up to the line of scrimmage and he replaces you to play that loose 5 technique. Our Mike linebacker is always going to be in a 0 technique, and then we'll have our box linebacker, for this case, playing this gap right here, C gap. Our corners are lined and locked up over number 1. Our strong safety comes down over number 2, and he's locked up, and we have our man-free safety playing that post technique. So when we look at the responsibilities of our gaps and our support calls are always going to be easy and backer. Easy means something to us as defensive ends. Backer means something to the linebackers. So in this particular case, backer away from the call, easy support to the call side. You're in this loose 9 technique. You're the D-gap player, defensive end. You now become a hard joint player, which means everything, anybody coming out to you, we're still defense, but in this defense, bandit, we're now hard jointing everything. So nothing gets outside of us. We want to keep everything inside of us. So we're attacking any pullers or trappers with our inside shoulder and forearm. D-gap player. Our box linebacker is now responsible for the C-gap. Defensive tackle, who's in a 3 technique strong, is responsible for the B-gap. Now, the head up 0, you are a 2-gap player. You want to crowd that center as much as possible. Crowd the football, that credit card alignment, and you attack this center. If he's trying to reach, you got to work with him. You got to work and steer whatever side he's going, because this Mike is playing A gap off of you. So you two are responsible for both A gaps. You're not going to shoot a gap. You're still going to read your visual key, which is your center, and play off of him. Defensive end away from the call side, you're now 3 technique. You are the B gap player, and this adjusted linebacker who's now in a loose 5, he's really this C gap player. Again, hard joint player, nothing gets outside of you. So you guys are the primary support players. When we get zone read, if we were to have a zone read look, gun set, back set 2, whoever is the support player, you get the zone read action. Your responsibility is the quarterback. So you want to attack the upfield shoulder of the quarterback in zone read. Okay, and then we still have players who are responsible for the dive part of it with the mic. And then with speed option, if the quarterback attacks you downhill, you want to feather the quarterback in the pitch. You're responsible for the pitch, but you want to feather that option and force that quarterback to pitch it. You're the pitch player, and now our free safety becomes the quarterback player. So this was our defensive end over here, and we had say for whatever formation, our defensive end, it's easy support, and you get zone read, attack the upfield shoulder of the quarterback, and then versus speed option, you want to feather the quarterback from the outside, forcing the pitch, but you are the pitch player versus speed option. The free safety now has the quarterback. So very simple. Again, we can move to this front. The only thing that affects us up front are gaps in our responsibilities. So known as a defensive end, you're going to have easy support on one side. You're a hard joint player. Okay, nothing gets outside of you. And inside we have phone booth players with our 3 techniques, and we have a head up 0 technique. So we're playing a 1 high shell, playing cover 1 behind it, and I'll show you here in a second the man blitz off of this package for us.